What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is KillerKeemstar, and I'm here with...
OnlyusemeBlade.
This is the BadKidCast, the audio cast that you listen to
while you game.
We are available on all different types of different platforms. We're available on iTunes. We're available on Spreaker. We're available on Stitcher. We're available on iHeartRadio and SoundCloud.
Bam. We have a sponsor for today's episode.
This episode's sponsor is the same sponsor we had last episode. His YouTube channel is IKMN. Excuse me.
Whoa, start over.
IKMRNI. And on this dude's channel, he does all different types of stuff, all different gameplays. He's re-uploaded some PlayStation 4 E3 hype, montage of different stuff that's coming. This is like a news/gaming channel.
Looks like he's been going hard. He's got 6 uploads in the last 3 days.
Yeah, check him out. Good channel. Good channel. So let's start this fucking show.
Before we start this, obviously, before we start a show, we kind of talk about what we want to talk about. A lot of stuff's been going on, and I know for a fact that no matter what we talk about, we could talk about fucking Mario Kart. It's gonna fucking come to what we're about to talk about. So let's just get right fucking into it.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. When we do the BadKidCast, right, we like to talk about different subjects and all different types of things, and try to inspire you. But is just as much as this is entertainment for you, it's very therapeutic for myself. And I don't know, is it therapeutic for you?
Yeah, it's good.
So there's a lot of shit going down. My channel's down. The last time we did the BadKidCast, I was talking about how Spam404 targeted me for having sales advertisement. Well, that was not the full story at all. Basically what happened is I've acquired some recorded Skype conversations from the guy that owns video games. And if you've been following me on Twitter, you've seen that I've posted this audio. One of the guys that owns video games is known as Marco. Now, Marco used to own the channel Team Noble, which got shut down. And he basically said in this Skype recording that he got me shut down. So here's the full story on this. I'm going to be...
spend the whole cast on it, bro. Tell the whole story. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Here we go. All right, so I'm relaunching YouTube Craft, which is my Minecraft server, and if you play Minecraft, check it out. One of my partners in this server was the channel VideoGames, and basically there was a dispute on percentages or whatever, and in the middle of talking about this fucking Minecraft server, the guy from VideoGames, known as Marco, is like, you need to book your flight to Austin, Texas, because I have a VIP pass for you and Dylan. Now, if you don't know who Dylan is, Dylan's the kid that flies helicopters, that starts all these Minecraft servers. He's been a friend of mine for years. So me and Dylan, we purchased flights to go to Austin, Texas, to go to the X Games, because Marco has secured us VIP passes for the event. Super excited. Now, these VIP passes are $1,200. Long story short, basically, the passes never come. All right. So one day we're like, yeah, it's 3 days to the event, and these passes have never been sent through the mail. What's going on? He's like, listen, both passes will be mailed to Dylan's house, and they'll be there first thing in the morning. Can we get a tracking number? I don't know where to get that from, but it'll be there. Okay. Now, you got to understand, we booked flights to go to this event, right? With these VIP passes. Could I have bought my own VIP pass? Of course, right? But I've counted on this guy. You
even got Pomage involved.
Oh, yeah. Then Pomage is a partner on our Minecraft server. And I was telling VideoGames, I was telling Marco, yeah, Pomage is going to join and promote the server and everything. And he's like, I can get him a pass too. I was like, nice.
Now, time out. Let me just put this in perspective for you guys, okay? If Keem says, hey, I have a huge cake for you. I'm giving you a cake.
Yeah.
I'd be like, cool. Now, if you see me tell a friend about that and be like, oh, yeah, I can give him some cake too. Now, when you don't come through for whatever reason, you make me look like the asshole. Even though I didn't ever had a cake in the first place, you make me look like the fucking asshole. So, based on the situation, Keem looks like an asshole to Pomage
Yep.
because Keem, rightfully so, offered up something that was offered through him. So it's like fucked up.
So now we're in this situation where Dylan's expecting a pass, I'm expecting a pass, and Pomage is expecting a pass, and I believe all three of us at this point have booked flights. 2 days to the event. It didn't came? It should have been in the mail. Do you have tracking numbers on this? No. Well, we need tracking numbers. We need confirmation, right? And then it becomes a situation where he's creating the trailer for the server. All right, he's going to create the trailer that everyone uploads to promote the Minecraft server, and the trailer never comes through. So basically, over the course of like 5 days, we catch Marco in a ton of lies. It's 24 hours before X Games, and I know in my heart and soul that this idiot has lied to me about getting these passes.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, I start tweeting out, has anyone else had problems with the channel VideoGames where people are lying to you or whatever, making promises and not following through with it? I get hit up by at least 10 YouTubers that are owed money from the YouTube channel VideoGames that have been lied to by Marco like I was lied to, okay? So now I'm in a situation where I'm like, Marco, you promised me this $1,200 pass. You're not giving it to me. You lied about it. And all these other people have been scammed by you. And I happen to run Drama Alert.
Okay.
So I'm going to start running a story on this. At the same time that this is happening, Bryant, which is the other owner of VideoGames, also, he goes by the name Vince. He has a hidden identity because this Bryant dude, Brian Martin, is known as Life in the Tent. And I suggest all of you pause the podcast now, do a little research on the YouTube user known as Life in the Tent. One of the most evilest people in the whole YouTube community. He's a suspended user. He's literally botted and attacked people. He's done so much shit that YouTube has given him a lifetime ban off of this content. Not only, but this other person has been taking down my channels for years. And Blade can attest to that. This individual. Now, so Bryant Martin, the guy that's been attacking my channels and has done all this horrible stuff, and Marco are the ones that own VideoGames. And now I have this problem. So I tell them, look, dude, you guys have scammed a lot of people. Bryant, you shut down my channels in the past. If you don't pay me, right, this money that you owe me, right, then I'll be forced to tell people that you scam me. All right? That's the way it's going down, right? If you do pay me, then I can't tell people you scam me because you didn't scam me. So it becomes a situation where Marco's like, I'll pay you by 9 o'clock tonight. And he starts freaking out or whatever. I didn't think he was ever going to pay me. Go to my PayPal around that time. The $1,200 rolls in. All right? So yes, he lied to me about having tickets, but at least he did the right thing and made up for it.
In Marco's defense, I have worked with Marco before, okay? I went to E3 a couple years ago when Black Ops 2 was the new game coming out. It wasn't the smoothest of trips. There was a lot of things that were said that didn't quite get delivered, but he still got it there. So even though it wasn't a smooth thing, by the end of the day, he still paid me and he still took care of what he said he was going to take care of. So when I heard this about the whole situation that you had and him paying you $1,200 for the hassles and the tickets and booking the flights and everything, I figured that was the end of it, but obviously not.
That should have been the end of it. So then Sunday night rolls around, all right, and I get a message from Spam404 saying that my channel's in violation for fucking promoting some shit. You know, my channel goes down, we do this BadKidCast, and we told you guys, look, you know, apparently they're going after people that have, you know, sponsors, right? Everyone has sponsors. Not the case. Skype recording comes off of Marco telling iCrazyTeddy that he took down all my channels because I bullied him or extorted him for this $1,200.
Pause this.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Blade had to get a phone call.
Yep, sorry about that.
All right. So anyhow, basically the situation happens where I get this audio, right? And Marco tells iCrazyTeddy in a Skype call, and I get the audio and I've already made this public, that he felt bullied by me. So he contacted Spam 404, which is his friend Cameron. I guess Cameron's the first name of the guy, Spam 404, and had me removed off the internet. Now, and had my channel shut down and all this stuff. So when this information comes out, and you got to understand, Marco apparently takes credit for shutting down my channel, says that he does it. He starts telling other YouTubers that he's did it. You know, I have a long history of these evil people. You know, the Life in the Tent dude that owns video games and the Marco dude that has scammed so many people, right? I have a long history of bullshit with them. So I'm like, that's it. Like, it's time to let the public know who these people are, all right? So I just start putting shit out on Twitter. You know, I'm just like, okay, look. The guy known as Futuristic Hub on YouTube, all right, his real name is Bryant Martin. He is the suspended user known as Life in the Tent. He also owns half of video games. I start putting that out there. I start putting out that Marco owns Team Noble, which is a suspended channel. And he also owns video games. I start putting out videos of him in a vlog interviewed at E3 at 2012 saying that he is the owner of Team Noble and video games. All right? So Futuristic Hub and the channel Video Games are both ran by suspended users. All right? It's been proven. I put all the facts out there. I proved it to Spam 404. Thinking that Spam 404 will take down their channels like they take down anyone that has a suspended channel in the past. No action gets taken. And again, in the audio clip, Marco says he's friends with Spam 404. So I don't know if they're friends with him or they actually run Spam 404, but I'm just like, that's it. I'm putting all this information out. Everyone needs to know that Life in the Tent is still alive on YouTube. He owns Futuristic Hub. He owns video games. That Marco has a suspended channel in the past. If these people are going to attack me and continue to take down my channels, then it's time to fight back. When I start putting all this information out, they come back with, you're done on YouTube. I'm like, what do you mean I'm done on YouTube? You've shut down my channels for years. What are you going to do? Flag my videos? Yeah. My channel's down.
Yeah.
So then they start responding, yeah, well, we're going to take you to court. I go, take me to court. I worked in an attorney's office for 8 years. My brother is an attorney, and he's a good one.
Yeah.
Blade knows. All right? He's like the best attorney.
Yeah. John is money.
Yeah, so
John's money.
Come at it. Let's go to court, buddy. Then he comes at me with, I'm going to call the cops. Call the fucking cops. You've been harassing me for years. Let's talk to cops. I know cops. I got background checks on you right now, motherfucker. Let's go. When all this fails and all these threats and all this bullying tactics that they try to do to me because I'm making this public that both of these motherfuckers are suspended YouTube users. When all that fails, you know what these sick individuals fucking do? They start saying, we're taking down Blade's channel.
Right. Now, I've stayed the fuck out of this. I literally have stayed the fuck out of this, okay? The only thing that's got me into this was Marco made a tweet saying something along the lines of, I'm going to make you my bitch, referring to Keemstar, just like you made OnlyusemeBlade your bitch. Like some whatever. And so I was like, I can't let that one slide. So all I did was, he was following me. I don't follow him. I just sent him a direct message saying, leave my name out of it, bro. Well, this dude fucking calls me, and I just have to say this, dude. During this conversation I had with Marco, I could tell that there's something wrong.
Right.
Because I've talked to him before. I've done business deals with him before. There's something off kilter. It's like maybe you need medication or you don't have enough medication. There's something.
And he's not saying that to pick on you, Marco.
I'm not saying that to pick on you, Marco, bro. Just like
he's being real.
I'm just saying, from talking to you and from the public tweets, something seems a little bit off. I'm not going to get into what we discussed on there, but pretty much they were threatening to take down my channels because this is what they say. They're like, listen, if you get Keem to stop this barrage, then we won't take down your channel.
Blade calls me and he tells me, like, they're asking to stop the tweets and then they won't attack me. I'm like, Blade, dude, honestly, You've seen what these fucking scumbags,
No,
these fucking criminals have done to me for years.
But the way that I presented to Keem was like, yeah, dude, so this is the offer. It's imagine that I'm the fucking defense attorney and we got the worst deal of all time from the prosecutor. Like, listen, they're offering you a quick death penalty. I have to tell you the offer. Like, I'm required by law to tell you the offer. But I'm giving you the news. Like, I know you're not going to, but this is just what they said.
So at this point, right, they've lost all options. They don't know what the fuck to do. So they start freaking out. Now, while this is happening, E3 or X Games is going on, right? Mm-hmm. So they hit up T Martin and they're like, T Martin, please post a tweet in favor of Futuristic Hub, which is the Bryant Martin guy, the Life in the Tent guy, saying that Marco was kicked out because they have this scam that they run called Good Cop, Bad Cop.
Right.
And how it works is when they do evil shit, they blame it all on Marco, and they act like Marco's been fired from video games. So they were on that shit. They were doing that. So I see a fucking tweet out by T Martin that says, I'm so glad Marco's gone from video games. I'm looking forward to working with Futuristic Hub. And they were like, ha! A million view subscriber against you, Keem. You're done. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Fucking pulled up my cell phone, called T Martin, explained to him the situation. I was like, T, do you know who that Futuristic Hub is? Actually Bryant Martin, Life in the Tent. This is the same individual that stalked Syndicate, that was literally calling Syndicate. Do you remember this story?
You know what? It's funny. When you mention this, I do not remember the story.
All right. A couple years ago, Syndicate was really blowing up on YouTube. And there were these girls called the Reply Girls. Do you remember them?
I remember the Reply Girls. Yeah.
One of them was known as Megan, right? Megan Talks or Megan Lee Hart or whatever the fuck her name is, right? That criminal, Megan Lee Hart, that was doing all those Reply Girl videos, right? She was doing it so much to Syndicate where Syndicate was like, stop. Yeah. And he was like, and she was like, no, I can do whatever I want. Right. Because back in the day when you would reply to a viral video, you would get views that you shouldn't get.
Because you'd be on the side of the video.
And this Megan Lee Hart girl was like pushing her chest together, showing like the cleavage that she didn't have, like as a thumbnail, so people would click on her videos, right? And everybody in YouTube was like, these Reply Girls are scum, right? Everyone was saying that. Syndicate was like, please stop doing this. She was like, I can do whatever I want. So Syndicate was like, okay, well then go put a pineapple up your ass. Now, this was said in like YouTube comments, right? Mm-hmm. This is a couple years ago. Here's the problem. The Megan Lee Hart girl, the Reply Girl, is Bryant Martin, Futuristic Hub, Life in a Tent, a.k.a. Vince from Video Games. This dude has so many fucking aliases because he's a fucking con man. It's her boyfriend. They live together. Actually, I think they're married now. I don't know. Okay. They're like husband and wife. So what this dude did, Futuristic Hub, a.k.a. Vince, a.k.a. Bryant Martin, a.k.a. fucking Life in a Tent, what he did is he made a video of him calling Syndicate's hotel room when Syndicate was here on vacation at like an E3 or something, right? He calls this thing and he goes, hey, you want to bully Megan Lee Hart, blah, blah, blah. And he starts talking all this smack to Syndicate on the phone. And Syndicate's like, who is this? Right? And he's like, this is Megan's boyfriend, you know? And Syndicate was like, yeah, go shove a pineapple up your ass too.
Yeah.
So I told T Martin the story, right? I'm like, that's who this guy is. Like, this is the con men from YouTube. Like, there's literally articles that I've been tweeting out where him, Bryant Martin, and Megan Lee Hart are like known as the Bonnie and Clyde of YouTube because they've pulled so many different scams and cons and botting and everything you can imagine that's bad with YouTube they've done, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So T Martin's like, oh my God, Keem, thank you for calling me. And he deletes the tweet.
Bam.
No longer working with them. So now they're struggling. Now they're fucking struggling.
I'm not going to lie, okay? When Marco was pretty much going on this tyrant talking about that he's going to have my channel taken down and all this crazy stuff, I was a little worried. I was checking to make sure my YouTube's still there, right?
Yeah.
The thing that caused me to go, okay, I don't need to take you seriously. I'm not going to be talking to you anymore, sir. I'm just going to leave it alone. Was a Skype conversation that you tweeted out that night.
Yeah.
And it was fucking hilarious.
He told me, me and Marco were like debating back and forth on fucking Skype, and I was just told him over and over again, like 1,000 times. I kept repeating myself. I was like, I always defend myself. I don't let people push me around, and I don't let people attack my family. And as I was saying this over and over again, he goes, "You threatened to kill me." I'm like, "No, I didn't." He goes, "Yes, you did. Blade is a trained assassin."
So apparently, Keem hired me as a fucking trained assassin
to kill Marco. I mean, it's just hilarious.
Now, if you are in the assassin hiring business, I'm sorry, I'm not the first one you call. I'm not.
We got a huge problem here on YouTube in the gaming community. We have a huge problem, all right? These criminals, you got to understand this, everyone that's listening to this. Team Noble was created by Marco and this other guy called Chill Thriller or whatever the fuck his name was.
Chill Thriller.
That's how it was created. And it was created by telling a bunch of YouTubers that they were going to get paid and they were going to get a bunch of money. And the channel died because Marco started lying to people and could not pay them. All right?
Quick little history lesson, okay? Team Noble, this is how it launched, okay? That guy who camps messaged me saying, "Dude, these people, Marco and Chilla Friller, are trying to contact you." I'm like, "What's up?" Listen, because at the time, in order to make money from gaming on YouTube, you had to upload to Machinima and Machinima Respawn, right? So I'll be real quick. Sorry about this, Keem. Sorry to interrupt your groove. So the situation was this. They go, "Listen, all we ask is just make a promo video, make a video on our channel. We'll pay you for the video on our channel, and then give us a week or so, and we'll get your channel partnered. So you can actually make money on your channel." We all uploaded this on a Friday night when the Machinima people went home for the weekend. Come Monday morning, all hell broke loose. The situation was, Machinima was like, "You know what? We want to keep you. Fuck it. We'll make it happen. We'll partner your channel." So me and about 10 other channels got partnered, and then that started the trend of people partnering their own channel. Literally, Marco was in the background of starting the process of people getting partnered on their own channel on YouTube for gaming. And go.
Yeah, Marco actually did something good back with, I mean, in his conning, scamming ways, he got every
It wasn't
gaming
him
YouTuber
doing something good. It was him making promises, and when we all acted on it, our companies fucking said, "Well, we don't want to lose you."
Right. Well, so that happens, right? But the reason why Team Noble dies is because Marco has owed so many people money and he can't pay them. So he's done and over with. Team Noble gets suspended or whatever. And then Marco started working at Machinima as a recruiter. All right? He was working as a recruiter. And then some crazy shit went down, right? He went and told Machinima, "Look, I need you to get me the username known as VideoGames." And Machinima's like, "Yeah, we'll look into that." All right? So he's asking, and finally he goes to Machinima. He goes, "All right, listen. T. Martin's involved. He's my partner in this. Help me get this." And they're like, "Oh, T. Martin's involved?"
Yeah.
Because at that time, Machinima was really, worried, and they want to keep fucking T. Martin, right? So they secured the name VideoGames, give it to Marco, and Marco does this. He tells every YouTuber, every major YouTuber at the time, "You promote video games, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars." All right? Mm-hmm. And he starts spending money and puts a lot of money out there, right, in the community. Yeah, you got paid to promote it, right?
Yeah, I got paid some money to promote it, and that's what paid for the E3 trip.
So Marco is now on the straight and narrow. He's starting another community channel known as Video Games. Everyone's getting paid. Couple months into it, something happens. People don't get paid on time. Mm-hmm. Then a few months later, once the channel already has 300,000 subscribers, nobody's getting paid. Everyone's being lied to. Everybody's being conned. Everyone's being scammed. It gets to a point where all these YouTubers are like, "Fuck video games. Fuck Marco. He's scamming everyone. They're not paying me the money that they owe me." It becomes so bad that the channel Video Games starts dying. So many YouTubers are fighting against it and giving it bad publicity because of the cons and scams that they're running. Now, Marco had a guy working for him known as Drew. Drew decided to steal the channel from Marco. So Drew steals the channel, locks Marco out. And Drew runs a con-free, safe environment. And every time he gets paid, he pays off all of Marco's debts. All the YouTubers that were owed money for promoting it, that never got paid, that got conned, Drew does the right thing, takes the YouTube money that he makes, and pays everybody off. These are the glory years, or glory time, of the channel Video Games.
Yeah.
Video Games goes from 300,000 subscribers to 100.4 million subscribers. It's doing so incredibly well. I mean, we're talking like $30,000, $50,000 a month it's making. All right? Because Drew run a very, very con-free, scam-free operation over there. Here's the problem. Marco gets a hold of the Life in the Tent dude. Marco gets a hold of the Brian Martin dude. Marco gets a hold of the guy that you guys know, video game directors know as Vince. Futuristic Hub. That guy. I know he's got 4 names, but that's because he's a con man and he has to change his name all the time. Gets a hold of that dude and takes Drew's parents, because Drew's a minor, takes Drew's parents to court. They sue for the channel Video Games.
Wow.
They go to court, and Marco actually wins. But part of the court case or whatever is that they have to pay Drew X amount of dollars or something.
Yeah.
They owe Drew money because Drew built the channel, right? So they owe him. So they get the channel back, all right? And now, somehow, the Life in the Tent dude, the Futuristic Hub, the Bryant, a.k.a. Vince dude, is a 50% owner, and Marco's a 50% owner of Video Games. So what happens is you got all these people that love Drew and the community that are like, wait, Marco's back? The guy that conned us?
Right.
Fuck this. But it didn't matter. The reason why Video Games still made out a couple months ago when Marco took over, 3 months ago when Marco took over, the reason why they still made out is because there were new kids in town to take advantage of.
Right.
There was the new wave of these GTA YouTubers that no one fucking knew about when Marco was running scams. That fell right into Marco's trap. There was a new class of YouTubers to take advantage of and to scam and to con. So Marco starts promising all these people shit. And the channel starts getting new directors. Marco starts saying, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to pay you this. I'm going to do this. And now there's a new wave of people that have been conned. There's people coming out of the woodwork being like, Marco owes me like $3,000. In fact, there's this dude, Quabble Cop, or whatever the fuck his name is, that's a GTA stunt guy that is owed like over $3,000 by Marco. They didn't pay him for such a long time that he filed copyright strikes on his own videos that are on Video Games, right? And here's the thing. Bryant Martin, Vince, a.k.a. Futuristic Hub, is the one that told him to do it because Brian and Marco were fighting at that time. So now they convince Cobra Cop that they're going to pay him. They're going to pay you. I swear I'm going to pay you. Undo the copyright strikes. You know, Brian's back in control of the channel and blah, blah, blah. So he undoes the copyright strikes. And this is just a giant fucking mess. A giant, horrible,
fucking exhausting
disaster. It's a fucking sore in this gaming community. You got 2 con men, 2 criminals that run video games that owe thousands of dollars out in this community that aren't ever going to pay anybody. Where their channel's making like $30,000 a month in revenue. And they're just taking all the money. And here's the thing that is the worst about all this. It's a community channel. It's not even their content that they're uploading.
Right.
It's not even their content that they're uploading.
That would be so sick for people just to send me shit to upload. I'm not going to do that,
These
obviously.
2 people that run video games have conned our gaming community. And they fucked with me for the fucking last time. So please, all the information that you have on this podcast right now, spread it. Let everyone know that the people that own Video Games and the channel Futuristic Hubs are suspended users on YouTube. And make sure the whole world knows that Life in the Tent, a.k.a. Bryant, a.k.a. Vince, a.k.a. Futuristic Hub, is back. And he shouldn't be here. Let everyone know that Marco, the guy that owned Team Noble, owns video games, and he shouldn't be here. You can look up these court cases. You can check the voices on Futuristic Hub, compared it to Life in the Tent. There's a million different proof out there that these people shouldn't be here. And the fact that they have been here have caused this community so much incredible pain that it's time to do something about it. I'm spreading the information. This is what I'm doing. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with it. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Now, I hope I'm telling this story good enough where everyone can follow along. I really do. And if you've made it this far, please do me a favor and share this video or share this podcast with someone, especially all the video games directors, because I think there's a new wave of video game directors that do not know who these con men are, right?
We don't make any money off the BadKidCast. This isn't like some ploy to try to get a couple bucks. This is like
yeah, we don't get money for views. There's no.
So
we made $50 for the sponsor on this.
Yeah.
So here's the other thing that I want to talk about. All right. Now, you've seen how they've taken down my channel, and I've told you that the Brian Martin dude, the AKA Vince, the AKA Futuristic Hub, the AKA fucking, I don't know.
Okay.
Life in a Tent.
It's like you're naming off how many different places we are
well,
on.
that's what con men do. They just create different aliases so they're not, their old reputation doesn't, affect them and the future scams that they pull off. So here's the problem. I'm talking to video games directors as all this is going down. And I'm not going to name names because this person didn't give me permission to make it public. But one of the video game directors decided to make a community channel. Okay. They were going to make a community channel, and what happened was they were contacted by the Futuristic Hub guy, the Bryant Martin dude, the Life in a Tent dude.
Yeah.
They were contacted by him, and he said, "Listen, I can take down anyone's channel that I want. You, as a director of video games, cannot compete against us. If you compete against me, I will take down your channels." And this is the same story that I've heard from two other people that had problems with them. Two other people, current video game directors, were like, "You owe me money. You said you were going to pay me these thousands of dollars for these videos that I put on your channel. You're not paying me." And when they got loud and they said that they were going to go public and tell everyone about it, their response was, Marco and Bryant said, "Look, if you do that, we're going to shut down your channels. We're going to shut down your channels." These people are terrorists in the gaming community. Everyone needs to know about this, all right? There has to be some way that we can contact YouTube and say, "Look, the Videos Game Channels is owned by two suspended users. They're not allowed to be on YouTube. How is this channel here?" There's literally a court case in the Virginia courts, a document with their legal names attached to it. There are videos saying that Marco used to own Team Noble and now he owns video games. There's so much proof out there.
The Video Games Twitter, if you go to a Video Games video, the Video Games Twitter, if you go there.
Can't hear you in the mic.
The Video Games Twitter, like if you go to a Video Games video, in the bio, the Twitter account Video Games, if you go there, it's Marco. Like what?
I mean, like, seriously, there's so much evidence, all right? We've sent all this information to Spam 404. Spam 404 knows that these individuals are suspended users, right? We actually have grounds, and legal grounds in the sense of YouTube law or terms of service. We have legal grounds to remove these people from our community and stop them from scamming people, stop them from hurting this community. Action needs to be taken. But the problem is Video Games claims Bryant Martin and Marco both claim that they're friends with Cameron, friends with the Spam 404 guy. Now, Spam 404 responded to me and said that the audio clip of Marco saying that he knows Cameron, that he talks to Cameron in Skype, is a fabrication. That leads me to believe that there's a possibility that these two might own or might be a part of Spam 404, or at the very least be friends with them.
Or it could be the same person.
Or it could be the same person. These people make up aliases. So we have a situation where it might be possible that the guy that's been taking down everyone's channel is the guy that owns video games. Gold Glove went down. He got all his stuff back. But who took him down? Who is Spam 404? Who are these guys? I need everybody to get this information out there. I'm not lying. Everything that I said to you is true. It's backed up by facts. You can look it up. These people have seriously hurt this community so incredibly bad. And on top of it, fighting with Woody's gamertag. On top of dealing with trying to take out the biggest botters and scammers and flaggers and the most evil people in this community, at the same time, I'm at war with the Woody's gamertag.
So I don't know if this is okay to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. I thought this was hilarious. So Keem's like, yeah, so I just went to Woody and be like, I just try to make peace. I'm like, what? I thought you guys were like going back and forth. And he's like, we are. But literally, I'm spending so much time and energy with the video games people that I can't even fight that battle with Woody right now. I want to put Woody to the side and be like, I'll deal with you later, bro. And I'm going to deal with this fucking video game shit. I thought that shit was hilarious.
So for those of you that don't know, me and Woody, we publicly hate each other. And we do have each other's phone number, and we do talk via text. So I put out to Woody, I was like, look, dude, I'm willing to put our little beef aside and let's have a peace treaty. All right. And he agreed to the terms, right?
Awesome.
Well, the problem is when Woody's gamertag filed a false copyright strike. That's another thing that we have to talk about. Right before my channel went down, I had a copyright claim against Woody's gamertag for the video I did with Syndicate versus Wings of Redemption. Now, in the video that I uploaded to Drama Alert, there is a picture of Woody's gamertag stream. Not any video whatsoever, just a picture of the stream. And as a news reporter, I have a right to do that, right? I can take a picture.
Fair use.
It's fair use. It's under fair use. Everybody knows that, right? It's under fair use. I'm not stealing his content. I'm not trying to profit from his content. I'm doing news based on his content from years ago, right? And I'm showing a picture of the live stream. Woody says that somehow that I violated our peace agreement or whatever because when this first happened, I called this guy Ryan that worked for me, and I was like, yeah, dude, I need you to file like 10 copyright strikes on Woody's gamertag. Otherwise, he's going to think he could just do this with no consequences, right? We need to figure this out, right?
Right.
Well, what happens is Ryan is on a fucking Skype call with Bryant, a.k.a. Life in a Tent.
Yeah, we get it.
A.k.a. Futuristic Hub, a.k.a. Vince from video games, right? And he's got me on fucking speakerphone, and this dude records me saying, fuck, we need to get like 10 of Woody's videos down so he knows not to fucking file these false copyright strikes. So anyhow, this happened before I even attempted to make peace with Woody. So I tried to explain that to him today. I was like, look, Woody, I said that prior to me contacting you. And he goes, oh, well, I thought that you did that afterwards. You know, you said you wanted peace in your tech. No, I actually made that phone call and told people to put false copyright strikes on you because you did it to me first, and that was prior to me contacting you, which I don't want anymore, right? I don't want people shouldn't be putting false copyright strikes on anyone, all right? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's part of what ruins this fucking community, right? Is this bullshit. Anyhow, I was mad at the time, and that's what I said. All right. Now today, I wake up and I see comments from Woody's gamertag on a video talking about this situation, talking about this audio that got released of me saying, you know, file 10 copyright strikes on Woody. Woody says in the comments, he goes, look, he goes, I filed a complaint to Google, and I told Google that the picture of my video from 3 years ago was 2/3 of his video, and it is my own property, and it is violation of the terms of service, and Google agreed with me. That's why they took the video down. So I contacted Woody, and I was like, Woody, look, more lies again. You can't just make up lies. You know that's not true. You know that anyone can file a copyright on anyone for any reason, and the video goes down. The only time that Google reviews it is when there's a counterclaim, and they have to make a decision. Woody says I'm lying.
Can you not make a counterclaim because your channel's down?
I can't make one until my channel comes back. right?
Okay.
But here's the thing. You know from personal experience, and a lot of you people out there on YouTube know from personal experience that you can file a false copyright claim or a copyright claim on anyone and take the video down.
Right.
Like, they do not review it because YouTube's been sued so many times, right? So if my channel comes back, I'm going to fight it. I'm going to win it. But, like, there's probably never going to be ever any peace between me and Woody's gamertag because that guy just is constantly lying, all right? When I say something about Woody, I say it because it's true, all right? I say it because I back it up by facts. I back it up by proof. This dude has spread it so much garbage and lies to the point where I feel like he owes me an apology. I don't care how mad you are at me. You're spreading lies about me. You owe me a fucking apology. And I don't think there's going to be peace until he says sorry for just constantly making up lies about me. So, with all that being said, that's where I'm at right now.
Yep.
And that was the one thing we couldn't avoid talking about.
And that was the thing I knew that it was going to have to come out. It's not like we could... That was the elephant in the internet room. So, yeah. Like, I always want to make sure we have a deep intellectual conversation, but I knew that's what we were going to have to talk about, so why avoid it?
Yeah.
Bam.
And I don't think we have anything else to talk about. I think this podcast should focus on the story about video games. I think that people in this community, YouTubers especially, and the fans especially, need to understand the behind-the-scenes stuff. All right? You know, I've said this before, and I don't want to just keep repeating myself, but we have two con men that have manipulated and have threatened and bullied so many people in this community and scammed people out of thousands of dollars that don't make content themselves. They're not gamers. They're not YouTubers. They don't make the content themselves. They run a community channel, and everyone suffers for it. We need to take action as a community. This is one thing that we can't just say, oh, well, cool story, Keem. That's fucked up that they're like that. We need to do something, all of us. So please share this podcast. Thank you for listening. I think that's the end.
That's it.
See you guys.
See ya.